One of the things that you want to do, you can see over here, what I did was, this is all stuff that we've done in the previous videos. But I just have this broken down into three parts here. So I have an H stack as array. I mean, it's a very ugly app, of course, but it's just trying to learn the basics at this point, not really trying to design this up. So I have this broken down into three parts. You got a rating here, and then a we work for you, like a middle section, and then a me and our team section. Just something to break this up. But what you can see on the code sheet is that if we really start designing this up and adding a lot of things, things can get a little hectic and the code can be a little bit harder to read here. So what can we do to uh, alleviate this here? Well, one of the things we can do is break our code up into different parts. And that's what I'm going to do here. So what I want to do is I want to do a couple of things. The first thing that I want to do is I want to break this into groups. And you can see that we have three groups. We have this H stack here, that's that top. And pretty much it's the rating and it ends from here to here. And then we have an H stack here, which is here, and that goes from here to here. And then we also have a list that goes from there. So what do we want to do? And like I said, you can always click on these curly brackets if you get confused to know which one goes where. Well, I'm going to break this up. So over here, if you want, you can get rid of the preview if you like. I'll just leave it. So what I'm going to do is I want you to click on the actual folder. All right, we're going to create three new groups because it's three main parts. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose new group. All right. And for this new group, I'm going to call this, since the first one, I'm going to call it rating view. There we go, rating view. Okay. And then I have this second part. So let's create a new group here. So I'm going to right click and say new group. And we'll just call this middle view. And enter. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to create a new group. And I'm going to just call this one, this is team view. All right. So I have three main parts, so I created three new groups. So let's start off by working with the rating since that's the first one. So I'm going to click on rating, and I know that this is the code that I want from here to here. That's that first part that takes up this section. So what I want to do is create a new file for it. So let's make sure that you have that folder selected. And let's just go, or you can hit Command N, but I'm going to say File New, and I'm going to say File. And what you're going to do is choose a new Swift UI view. So I'm going to click on that and choose Next. So now it's asking me, what do I want to call this? Well, I'm going to call this Rating View. All right, so we know. And I do want it to go into that rating view folder here. So make sure that it's there. Yours may look a little different, but here it is. And I'm going to click create. All right. So what do I want to do here? I need to copy and paste the code that we have. Now, because this is sort of stacked, you do need to embed this in a VStack automatically by default, otherwise you'll get errors. So let's just come in and create just hit Command and choose embed in VStack. All right. And now if I go back to my Swift content file, let's just grab that H stack that we had here and let's cut it and then come back to our rating view and just paste it right in here, just like that. Okay, so we got that one set up. So let's go to our middle view here and let's do File, New, File. All right, and then I'm going to choose Swift UI File, And I'm just going to call this middle view. All right. And make sure that it's pointing to that folder. And then let's hit create. All right. We'll need to do the same thing. So whenever you're doing this, you'll have to embed it in a VStack. There we go. So let's go back to our content view and let's just get that info. And that's all that's there. So let's just hit Command X. Go back to the middle view. It's a lot of back and forth. And paste it in. And then let's do our last one, which is the team view. So let's go in and say File, New, File, Swift UI file. I'm just going to call this Team View. Make sure it's in the Team View folder. And let's hit Create. All right. And now go back to the content view and just grab your list or whatever you want. And back to team view, and let's just paste this in. First thing we need to do is embed it in the VStack and then just paste it in. Okay, so we got that. Now we're getting errors. If we look back, our content view is saying, hey, you have pretty much an empty stack. Well, let's break this up and put it back inside of our code here. And it's very simple to do. The first thing I need to do is just tell it what view I want to see first. So what was the first view that we had? The first view was the rating view. So if I say rating view, then you just put parentheses. And now that chunk of code is now being called in. So next we had our middle view. So if I say middle view, there it is. And then let's go in and write in our last thing, which is the team view. And we are done. And if I click resume, it looks the exact same. So this is a way that you can break your code up. You first by starting with a new group. It helps. It's not required to create a new group folder, but it's always very, very helpful to keep things organized, at least for me. If you just wanted to create the file, that's fine too. But now we have this broken up, and now our content view looks a lot better, a lot cleaner, and it works out.